On this day, 21st of October, 1879, Thomas Edison applies for a patent for his design for an incandescent light bulb. So, Thomas Edison is very famously known as inventing the light bulb. But in fact, he was the one who commercialized it. Now you think about the light bulb and what it has meant for our species. Right now, I have lights on in this room. There are lights on in the hallway. There are lights on downstairs and all around the streets. Light bulbs and the ability to work in the evening or play in the evening by light has changed civilization. Up until this point, it was very difficult for most people to stay up very much after sundown. There were some people who could sit by the fire, perhaps. There were oil lamps, but this was expensive and it wasn't common in poorer parts of the world, whereas the light bulb is, except for North Korea, pretty much everywhere where people are. It has lengthened our day, and whether that's good or bad, it's a fact that it has. And the technology has changed everything. And it's something that we take for granted. We walk into the room, we switch on the light, we don't even really think about it. The odd time that there is some sort of power cut for whatever reason, we're all kind of like, oh my god, because it's so unusual for us not to have the ability to turn a light on. But interestingly, Thomas Edison wasn't the first person to create a light bulb. In 1761, a guy called Ebenezer Kinnersley demonstrated heating a wire to incandescence. 1761. That was before the United States was a thing. Which is incredible. That's like well over 100 years before the light bulb became commercial. In 1802, Humphrey Davy he made something, the Royal Institution in Great Britain, creating incandescent light. And over the century, there were guys from Scotland, there were guys from Belgium, more guys from England, Americans, a Russian, all creating their own incandescent light bulbs. Some of them did it as a hobby and never went ahead and commercialized it. If they had, maybe they could have been very wealthy. Some went for patents and were obviously trying to make it commercial. Frederick de Moulins from Britain, he was granted a patent, but we never heard of him. An American, John Starr, made a light bulb, but he never produced it commercially. A Frenchman also created one, and his light bulbs are on display in the museum, the Château de Blois. So there are quite a few people who created light bulbs or created things that were like light bulbs. And they never went ahead with it, or they never could get the chemicals right. So it was on this day, 1879, a long time ago, that Thomas Edison applied for a patent. Now, this also went along with his many other inventions. The main one being the film. So he was the guy who created what did become Hollywood. And originally, Hollywood, or what later became Hollywood, was around New York, New Jersey, New York. They fled from New York and purposely went out to California because for some reason in those days, patents didn't extend to California. A bit weird. I would have thought they were nationwide. Maybe it was a state-by-state thing. But Thomas Edison is famous for applying technology. He didn't invent very much, but he developed many things, and he tweaked things and made them better. And the light bulb is probably his greatest patent, his greatest, not invention, his greatest tweak, you could call it. And that is today's story. One of the most important things that we have now, a thing that we take for granted, is now everywhere. And although it probably would have happened anyway, at some point, because people had been playing around with it for over a century, it was him that started the commercialization of it, which means that within 50 years of him commercializing it, it was everywhere. Okay, if you like these videos, like, subscribe, comment, and come back to me.